May God be with you all.
So I am kind of curious. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't either.
He has an issue with personal space, as Chris has pointed out.
What's that mean? Why say that after that? What does that mean?
But, like, he has that issue with everybody.
Right.
You know, when he wants, I mean, it's like, son, you need to stay back just a little bit so you can be, you know, because the closer you get, I'm going to ask you to brush your teeth.
I'm going to ask you to brush your teeth. People are so mad that Katie mentioned, like, armpit smells, but they don't give a shit that this man just said his son's breath smells so bad. I mean, come on. Just get real.
Yeah. I totally understand that. Sounds like an innocent kid to me.
Once again,
if you ask me, sounds like an innocent kid. So it doesn't make any sense that he would be like.
It sounds to me that we know Seth spoke to Nina all the time, right? They're actually BFFs. Matter of fact, we found out that Nina is going to write a letter on behalf of Bullhorn Betty in the courts. How do we know that Seth didn't say all these things to Nina to get in her head to create a fear of allowing Chris to have visitation? Could be.
Like, oh no, like this, like Sebastian has some sort of leprosy or something like that. I think that's a little bit extreme.
He's the one being this picture.
We do need to talk about this, and I appreciate you being here to clarify a lot of this, etc. One of the other things, though, too, you know, after everything that happened, she called CPS on the child's family, and all that during that time. Why wasn't there? And I know a lot of people have asked.
What more could Katie have done as a mother than to call CPS, call the police, and get her son into therapy? What more could she have done? What did she miss out on? What did she do wrong? Now, what does Seth do?
Ask this question. Why wasn't he taken away from that home at that time? Why couldn't you take him? Why couldn't you take him?
Good question. If you know that they allowed, do you think I'm threatened by you, Nick? I'll see you soon, too. You can more than welcome, Nick. Do what you got to do. You think I have any fear of what you're going to do? Just know I'll reach out to every fucking organization the same way you did. Ain't afraid of you. You think you're going to silence me for playing your own buddy's words? Came from his mouth, didn't it? So here's the question. Why didn't he take custody? If they were so absent, as if they're so horrible as parents, why didn't they take custody? Great question, Pascal.
Why wasn't he taken away from that home at that time? Why couldn't you take him? Why couldn't you take him?
We were still in the middle of the divorce.
What does that mean? What's the punching bag mean? Did you just threaten me? Did you just threaten me, Nick? Do it again. What does that mean, Nick? Elaborate. See, you might have people on YouTube thinking you're a big shot, but I know as well as you know that everybody, including yourself, that you associate with is not a big shot in this county. And that's for fucking sure.
The divorce hasn't settled yet. This didn't happen.
You know, they run around talking about threats. Does anybody else take what Nick has put in my chat on repeat as a threat? Because I feel like that is a threat. You just told me you're in my town. Now you're putting punchy emojis. I feel like that's a threat. Yep, definitely a threat. So who's threatening who? Why are you trying to distract from this conversation, Nick? You got a problem? That's the real him. Well, you got a problem with this conversation being played again? Don't fucking threaten me.
After the divorce, this was happening during the divorce.
Yeah, find your parole officer, bitch.
So this happened during the divorce. So
and when I brought it up, I was, instead of being the worried father, they turned around and pretty much said, you're the hateful ex-husband.
Right.
Oh, that's what they said to you after your son was abused?
This happened during the divorce. So
and when I brought it up, I was, instead of being the worried father, they turned around and pretty much said, you're the hateful ex-husband.
Damn, that's what the police said about him, the hateful ex-husband. No, I want everybody to see for yourself the threats that are taking place. These are the real threats. You guys are out here saying Nicholas was wearing a dress and, the Proudfoots are threatening people. Now you put a fucking punching emoji. You can try to change it however you want. You threatened me, is what you did. You threatened me.
Right.
Continue with your threats.
So let's talk about that for a second. Now, I know that there's been a lot of paperwork, documents that were.
Why are you doing this anyway, Nick? Honest question, why are you doing this? There's another threat. I take these as threats. I'm glad they're all documented. Already recorded proof that is your channel. Why are you doing this? Why are you distracting from Sebastian with all these, threats and we're going to do this and we're going to do that and all this legal action? Why? If this is about Sebastian and it's all about finding Sebastian, why, because somebody disagrees with your perspective on a case you came into 7 months later, are you threatening everybody? Why can't everybody come together for this child? Instead, it's this big circus act of lawsuits and cease and desist and all these things. Why? How is that helping Sebastian? By trying to silence everybody who's been out here, keeping his name out here? That's gonna what? It's gonna do nothing. It's gonna do nothing but get ready to silence people that are bringing awareness to his name. I haven't done anything to cause legal action, Nick. You ain't threatening me. Nothing I've done is anything you can take legal action on. Not one of it.